I am no longer a smoker, but for much of my life, I smoked cigarettes. And for much of that career as a cigarette smoker, I did roll my cigarettes. I was always kind of worried that I would have to deal with the man because I'm behind the wheel and I'm got that hand rolled cigarette. But it was never that stuff because I'm actually personally not a believer in it. Although I have some questions about the laws we'll get into later. So cigarette papers, but the people are coming in, and it seems like most people think that they're using the papers to smoke marijuana.
That would be the assumption.
Do they sell bongs?
Yes, but if you say that, you will get kicked out.
Oh, so you can't. The word bong
is
a
water tobacco pipe.
A water tobacco pipe.
Because
that's
bong
what they call
has a connotation of an illegal substance. Yes.
That's the legalized way of talking about a bong.
Right, it's a big no.
A water. So you have to use the word tobacco.
Water tobacco pipe. Yes. Correct.
Okay, and you were the manager, right?
I was the manager of the Mandeville store.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, this is really not coming from the government saying you have to say this stuff. This is really your employers, right?
Correct.
They've decided this is what they have to do. I mean, do you have any insight into how does that come about? Do they talk to the sheriff or because this seems to me, I'm a lawyer, okay?
Right.
But there is a thing called form, and then there's a thing called substance. All right. This seems kind of ludicrous for the government to be trying to tell a private business owner how to describe the stuff. It is what it is.
I woke up one Sunday morning to this situation. Had a call, was told to check the paper before I went into work. Went and picked up a paper, went into work. Looking through the paper, not sure what I'm looking for. Get to the Metro section, and I find an article that was about a case in St. Bernard Parish called Operation Pipe Dreams. And what they were doing was they were sending an undercover officer into gas stations that were selling novelty pipes that, are usually used to smoke crack cocaine out of.
Yeah, the ones with the little flowers in them, right?
The rose pipes,
right.
Whatever. So this guy was going in.
Wait, so the undercover cop was going in selling the pipes to businesses?
He was going in asking for the pipes.
Asking for them, okay. All right.
So he was asking for the pipes, asking for specifically a crack pipe, and was being sold a pipe.
So he's going in saying, give me a crack pipe, and
they're selling it to him. So they had about 30 instances of this on video. They shut down 6 gas stations, arrested 12 people, and the list of names read like a terrorist watch list. It was all like Muslim type names. And it was an interesting story, and the paper stated that it was the first time that businesses were targeted for selling something that was not illegal in and of itself, but had the connotation of illegal usage.
Right, I'm familiar with that because that pipe, I've seen that, and it's got like a little bitty rose in it, and it's sort of like a test tube, but without a bottom in it.
Correct.
And in crack use, what they do is then apparently they need, what is it, a Brillo pad?
The Brillo pad.
Right, and they put a little bit of like metal in there, and they use it to smoke crack. And this amazed me because I over my years as a criminal defense attorney dealing with people with drug problems, I came to be aware that, you could go buy these little pipes anywhere. And apparently no one's really buying them for Valentine's Day for their girlfriend.
Right.
This is a thing. It's made to have kind of an innocent look, but it's like not really, it's not a popular item to give your girlfriend. I mean, unless she's a crackhead, I guess.
They were called oil incense burners.
Oil incense burners.
Yes. They're oil incense
she's a crackhead,
burners.
but she probably would like a crack rock better than a crack pipe, although one without the other is kind of like, I don't know.
Sure.
But no, and that is a devastating drug. I've seen many lives destroyed. So did the raw shop sell those?
We pulled them that day.
That day, okay.
When I read the article, I made a decision to take all the pipes off the shelf, all of those particular pipes, and hide them away. And we did have a few people that wanted to tear the store apart looking for them because they swore they were there. And
they were.
But we were not selling them, no.
Yeah.
So, that was a problem that we averted by just eliminating it.
Okay, and so it seems like the kind of consumer that likes to go to the raw shop would be associated a lot of times with illegal drug use, the kind of people that go there.
I would say that would be a pretty correct assumption.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about some of the other aspects of the business of the raw shop and the way it interacts with law enforcement. And we also, I believe, on the hotline we have a 420 friendly attorney, Dave Capasso, and let's see if we can get Dave in on the conversation. Hello, Dave.
What's up? What's up, Russ?
Oh, man, it's good to hear your voice. Our listeners are very, very familiar with 420-friendly attorney, activist attorney, really a man of the people, attorney, longtime friend of mine, Dave Capasso. Dave?
Well, I appreciate you taking me on the show, and your guest, very insightful. He understands the world of police and the war on drugs. But I would say, again, it's interesting that you want to ban that. You might as well start banning Glad sandwich bags, keep moving cigars. You might as well start banning just every piece of paraphernalia that Easy Wider that is making millions and millions of dollars, but they're perfectly legal products, and their owners probably go to church on Sunday.
Well, now, I understand we had talked the last time you were on the show about Mojo, and you told me, although you hadn't tried it, you kind of knew, about it. And I
have tried it.
You have tried Mojo, which is still
I actually have
lawful.
Several clients that are on probation and parole, and one judge about 4 months ago said to a whole audience of her drug court is that if you're going to do something, you might as well do Mojo, all right? So you might as well go out and get that, because if you do some other stuff, I'm going to put you in jail and blah, blah. And I was like, wow, she was advocating this incense thing that's being sold, and I was very interested in it, and I said, well, maybe this is an alternative. Maybe this is something that we actually could go to, these alternative type of things, and I'm like, why not? So people have talked about it, and then, of course, they're passing a law, it looks like, as we speak, to ban it, to make it illegal.
And Mojo does not show up, I understand, on the drug tests that they give to all these folks in court.
I guess so. I guess the mixture of incense and
my producer's telling me it says not for human consumption. Yeah, right. That's like,
sure.
And those little pipes with the rose in them are like
novelty.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You are making me so happy.
Yeah. Well, so then I say, well, let me try to get this. So you go in and it's like $17 or $15 for this tiny little bit.
Yeah, a friend of mine bought some. I just saw it in the little packet. It's very. This is sort of like legal marijuana. I mean, in a sense, it's a neat little packet. I can just see it sitting there next to the stackers in the gas station. It's just got a neat little thing, and it's like a little teeny weeny skinny sealed thing, and it says 1995 on it.
Right. And I being a connoisseur for the last 25 years of marijuana and different cycles, I always said that if they did legalize it, they need to have like the Jack Daniels version. They need to have the kind, and it would be great to be sold just like alcohol and the different. If you want Courvoisier or you want some Night Train, you just whatever level you want.
You're like 420 friendly,
Beautiful.
And you got your reasons. You've done your research. You didn't just jump out there and form an opinion without doing adequate research first.
That's right. So I ended up doing it, and I was, quite frankly, very disappointed.
Very disappointed in the Mojo?
It is.
In the Mojo.
It seems like it's it's kind of a numbing. It's kind of a woozy thing. I mean, if you're one of these people
it affected your mood though?
Get a little loose and you want to get a little altered, then I guess that's great. But if you're one of these people again who loves the laughter of marijuana, loves the appetite, the hunger, it makes food taste a little better. If you like the fact that you're dealing with a plant, there's chemicals in this Mojo. There's like things that you really don't want to put in your body.
I didn't really understand that until I was talking to Tim, and getting ready for the show, because I'd heard there were different types of legal herbs out there, but apparently, Tim, weren't you telling me there's several different combinations of quote-unquote herbs, but they all got the same chemical spray on them?
Correct. Right. It's JWH018 is the most common.
But it doesn't show up on drug tests.
Well, they don't test for it specifically.
So somebody's making like a little niche market in Louisiana, mojo drug tests, I guess, right?
I could sniff glue and it won't show up in the drug test,
Sure.
and it's still not good for you.
Right.
Okay, and and the other thing, Dave, it was a really interesting conversation. It really probably prompted me to feel like it'd be very interesting to have Tim on the show as a person who's been sort of in the commerce of what some dark members of law enforcement might consider the raw shop just a hotbed of paraphernalia, although and we are not speaking for the raw shop owners at all, but I'm just saying that's how some of the law enforcement people would look at it. But he brought something up about this illegalization issue, and it really made me think, because what Tim was saying is that, well, this stuff apparently, it hasn't been on the market that long, right, Tim?
The drug itself has been around since about 85.
So, but it really hit the market in a big way.
The last couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
So